Hi, boys and girls. This is Miss Marche. Good to see you. Hope everyone's safe and doing well. Today, we're going to read another chapter in the book, Julian's Glorious Summer. But before I get into another chapter, which is chapter 5, called To Each His Own, I want to recall and retell what happened at the end or what happened in chapter 4. Chapter 4 was called I Get Lucky. And in this chapter, Julian thought he was going to get lucky after he had fibbed to his best friend Gloria. But instead, his father found out and wanted to ask him about it. And when he said that he actually wanted to work all summer, his dad actually put him to the test and said, "You know what? Great idea. I have some work for you." Now Julian is not happy about what's going to happen. All right. Before we read into chapter 5, I'm going to introduce you to some vocabulary words. Vocabulary words are going to help you to really understand the story a lot better. Here we go. Numb. Numb means not being able to feel in your body. Porch. A porch is a covered entrance to a building, usually with a separate roof. Insulting. To do or say something that is unkind to someone. Advised. To give an opinion or a suggestion to someone about what should be done. So these are some vocabulary words you might find in chapter 5. And as I read, keep in mind what they mean so you can keep track of this story. All right, here we go. To each his own. Right after lunch, my dad offered Huey the same great opportunity he'd offer me, to work all summer. "No thanks," Huey said. "I'd rather go play at Gloria's house." And he left. "More sharp rocks for you, Huey," I thought. But pretty soon there was not enough even time to think about sharp rocks. My dad gave me my jobs. To begin with, I polished 12 pairs of shoes, including 2 pairs my dad had been saving for a dog to chew, if we ever got a dog. Then I swept the porch. Afterward, I brushed cobwebs off the porch ceiling and under the eaves all around the house. When I finished that, it was 4 o'clock. I sat down. My neck ached from reaching high to get all the spider webs. I pushed my head around with my hands to make sure it still moved as many ways as it used to. I wasn't sure it did. At 4:30, my dad came home from the shop. "Hello, Julian," he called. He came over to check on the work. "I think we're practically all out of jobs around here," I said. My dad looked at me. He had little orange sparks in his eyes. "Don't worry, Julian," he said. "I'd hate for you to be out of work. There are still plenty of jobs for you." And he got me started weeding the garden. One good thing I noticed about weeding the garden, once my back started to ache, I forgot about how my neck felt. "What luck," I said to myself. "Maybe in a few days I'll just be numb. Nothing will hurt, and when the summer's over, I'll go to the hospital for a long vacation." Let's pause here for a second. A lot is going on. How is Julian feeling about the work his father set for him to do? Is he happy? Is he not so happy? How's he feeling? I want you to think about that. I'm giving you about 15 seconds to think about it, and then I'll share my job. He's working very hard. After he said that there wasn't much work to do, his dad said, "Guess what? I have something for you to do. There's plenty of jobs." How do you think he's feeling? All right, let's take a look at my job. So Julian's feeling exhausted and disinterested because he's working really hard, his body aches, and this is not what he really wants to do. He doesn't want to do this. But guess what? He put himself in this hole, and now it's hard for him to get out. Because he was fibbing so much, he actually fibbed about something he really doesn't want to do. Let's keep reading. Pretty soon, Gloria pedaled up on her bike. She laid it carefully on the grass. "Huey couldn't keep up with me, so I'm here. Here I am, she said, but I can't stay long. My mom is expecting me back. She stood with her thumbs in the belt loops of her blue jeans, staring at me. Then she whispered, Julian, your dad really is doing it. He really is going to make you work all day and all night, all summer long? So Gloria's in disbelief. She's like really shocked that his father's actually making him work all summer. But in actuality, she doesn't really know that Julian lied to her. How could he do this if this is his best friend? I'm not sure. Let's keep reading. Only all day, I said. He really is mean, Gloria said. Well, not exactly, I said. Actually, I want to work. Actually, it was my idea. There he goes, fibbing again. Your idea? Gloria said. Yes, I want to save money to buy a race car. You're going to work all summer. You want to? Pretty much, I said. My forehead was sweaty. I wiped it with the back of my hand. Dirt from the weeds trickled down my neck. I thought, of all the not quite true things I have ever said, this is not quite truest of all. Well, Gloria said, to each his own. I didn't know what to each his own meant. Usually when I wouldn't ever have to ask because I don't want Gloria to know when I don't already know something. But I was living under emergency conditions. It was too much trouble to pretend I knew everything. I decided that if I wanted to know something, I would just go ahead and ask. I asked. It's something my mother says, Gloria answered. Now I'm wondering, if Gloria is Julian's best friend, why is he embarrassed to tell her the truth or tell her how he really feels deep down inside? Best friends are there for you. So why is he like fibbing? Just to show that he's probably brave when he really isn't? Or just to cover up that he isn't so brave? Let's keep reading. It means each person has his or her own way of doing things and his or her own way of things to do. It means if you want to work all summer, it's not for me to say you're crazy. You just might not be crazy, even though I think you are. To each his own, Gloria said again, and she left. In a little while, Huey came up. Julian, he said, may I help you weed? Sure, I said. I wondered why Huey wanted to help. I had to give him credit. He worked hard. He got the whole garden done before supper. Thanks a lot, Huey, I said when he put the tools away. It's nothing, Huey said. Anyway, Laura told me I had to help you. She said I should be very kind to you, because maybe your brain is out of order. Oh, really? I said. My back was out of order, my neck was out of order, my fingers were out of order, my legs were out of order. On top of that, my best friend was insulting my brain. Now, let's take a look. What is happening so far? Why did Gloria say to each his own to Julian? What is happening? What did Gloria realize in this moment? Or Julian realize in this moment? I'll give you about 20 seconds to think about it. 10 more seconds. All right. Now, what's happening so far? So far, Julian's having this conversation with Gloria. And he's like trying to hide the fact that he doesn't really want to work. And she's like, well, if you don't really want to work, so be it. If you really want to work, so be it. If that's what you want to do, to each his own. I have nothing to say. Even though I think deep down she thinks he's a little cuckoo in the brain. Right? what did Huey mean when he said, "She said I should be very kind to you because maybe your brain is out of order"? Is his brain really out of order? Or how does Gloria feel about Julian? I'm going to jot about this. So do you agree that this means Julian is a little crazy in the brain, or he has crazy thoughts because Gloria doesn't understand why he would want to work all summer long. Let's continue reading to the next page. "Come on, brain," I said to it. "Lead me to dinner." And it did. Not only that, it advised me to sneak upstairs and take the sharp rocks out from under Huey's mattress so he wouldn't stop helping me. So I'm going to give you about a minute to think about what was the big event in chapter 5, to each his own. Because we're going to do an end of chapter jot. Okay? I'm going to give you about 1 minute to think about this, and then we're going to write a jot. Okay? I want you to think about how Julian was feeling, what actually happened, what Gloria said. Think about what she meant when she said to each his own, and how Julian reacted to that. All right, let's jot about it. So Julian was put to work. His father gave him so much work to do that he was very unhappy about it. Then Gloria came to check on him, and Julian still told a fib about wanting to actually work. She felt Julian was crazy in the brain. Julian then realized this wasn't a good idea after all. So, in chapter 5, we realized that Julian, not only is he keeping up with his fib, but he's realizing that his problem is getting worse. And he's actually not having fun anymore. In the beginning, he was having a lot of fun. He thought this was very entertaining. But as he started to work and do the things that he wanted to do in the fib, it actually isn't what he really wants to do. So I want you to think about the type of person Julian is, and why does he continue to fib if it's not really something that gets him in the right thing, you know? When we return tomorrow, we're going to read chapter 6, and chapter 6 is called The Beginning of Happiness. Maybe something good is going to happen in chapter 6, but I want you to think about it. What do you think is going to happen next in chapter 6, called The Beginning of Happiness? Do you think that he'll actually learn to tell the truth? Do you think that his happiness will start to grow and he'll start to feel a lot better about what he's doing? I don't know. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we read chapter 6 in Julian's Glorious Summer. Take care.